Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone. Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to talk about transportation in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn to talk about transportation in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Bon travail! Il est 17 heures. Nous avons encore du temps. À quelle heure est-ce que tu vas voir tes amis? À 19 heures. Je vais à la Comtesse, à pied. Est-ce que tu veux venir avec moi? Je suis fatiguée. Je vais y aller en taxi. Let's hear it with the English translation. Bon travail, il est 17 heures. Nous avons encore du temps. Good job, it's 5 p.m. We still have time. À quelle heure est-ce que tu vas voir tes amis? What time are you going to see your friends? The next sentence is the one we'll focus on. Let's take a closer look and break it down into its parts. À 19 heures, je vais à la Comtesse à pied. Est-ce que tu veux venir avec moi? At 7 p.m., I'm going to La Comtesse on foot. Do you want to come with me? First is the phrase à 19 heures, meaning at 7 p.m. À 19 heures. À 19 heures. Next is the sentence je vais à la Comtesse à pied. Je vais à la Comtesse à pied, meaning I'm going to La Comtesse on foot. Je vais à la Comtesse à pied. This starts with the subject pronoun je, meaning I. Je. Je. Next is the verb vais. Vais meaning I'm going. Vais. Vais. Together, je vais means I am going. Je vais. Je vais. Next is the preposition à, indicating direction or destination. To. À. À. After this is the proper noun, la Comtesse, the name of a place. La Comtesse. La Comtesse. Together, à la Comtesse means to la Comtesse. À la Comtesse. À la Comtesse. Next is the phrase à pied, meaning on foot. À pied. À pied. Next is the question est-ce que tu veux venir avec moi? Meaning, do you want to come with me? Est-ce que tu veux venir avec moi? This starts with the phrase est-ce que, used to form yes or no questions in French. Est-ce que? Est-ce que? Next is the subject pronoun tu, meaning you, informal. Tu. Tu. After, this is the verb veut, meaning want. Veut. Veut. Next is the infinitive verb venir, meaning to come. Venir. Venir. Next is the prepositional phrase avec moi, meaning with me. Avec moi. Avec moi. All together, it's à 19h, je vais à la Comtesse à pied. Est-ce que tu veux venir avec moi? At 7 p.m., I'm going to La Comtesse on foot. Do you want to come with me? Je suis fatiguée. Je vais y aller en taxi. I'm tired. I'm going to go there by taxi. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Subject plus verb plus a plus place plus means. Subject plus verb plus to or at or in plus place plus means. These patterns helps us talk about where someone is going and how they're getting there. Let's look at the subject and verb first. The subject tells us who is doing the action, and the verb is usually something like aller, meaning to go. The verb is often followed by a, which links it to a place. After that comes the place itself, which tells us where the person is going. It could be a city, a building, a store, or any specific location. In French, a can mean to, at, or in, depending on the verb it follows. Its meaning doesn't exactly change. It simply adapts to the context of the verb. In French, the way you express how you travel depends on whether you're inside the vehicle or on top of it. For transport, you ride in, for example, a car or a bus, use en. For transport you ride in, for example, a car or a bus, use en. For transport you're on, like walking or biking, use a. So you say en voiture, by car, and en bus, by bus. But à pied, on foot, and à vélo, by bike. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Je vais à la Comtesse à pied. I'm going to La Comtesse on foot. In this sentence, je is the subject, meaning I. Vais is the verb, conjugated from aller, which means to go. It's used here as je vais, meaning I'm going. À is the preposition connecting the verb to the place or destination, meaning to. La Comtesse is the place being referred to. It's the name of a location, likely a cafe or restaurant or meeting spot, and together, je vais à la Comtesse follows the pattern verb plus à plus place, and it means I'm going to La Comtesse. Then we see à pied. which means on foot. This tells us the means, how the person is going. In this case, on foot. So the sentence Je vais à la comtesse à pied fits the patterns subject plus verb plus a plus place plus means. I'm going to La Comtesse on foot. Now you can use this structure to talk about where you're going and how you're getting there in French. In French, à meaning to or at or in sometimes changes depending on the word that comes after it. When à is followed by le, the masculine word for de, they combine to make au. So with le travail, the work, we say au travail, to work. If à is followed by la, the feminine word for de, for example, la bibliothèque, the library, there is no change. It stays à la. To the library is à la bibliothèque. If the word starts with a vowel or silent H, for example, l'école, the school, we use à for both masculine and feminine nouns. To school is à l'école. And when à is followed by les, the plural word for de, for example, les magasins, the shops, it becomes au, to the shops, is au magasin in French. These contractions are required and make the sentence sound natural. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Je vais à la bibliothèque en bus. I go to the library by bus. Can you see how the patterns applies here? Let's break it down. Here, je is the subject, meaning I. Vais is conjugated from the verb aller, meaning to go. It's the first person singular form used here as je vais, meaning I'm going. Next is à la bibliothèque, which is the preposition plus the place. The preposition à means to. And la bibliothèque means the library. Together, this part tells us where the action is headed, the destination. Then we have en bus, which tells us how the person is going, the means of transport, by bus. En is used because a bus is something you travel in. So that's how je vais à la bibliothèque en bus fits the pattern subject plus verb plus à plus place plus means. Here's another example. Je vais à l'école à pied. I go to school on foot. Je vais à l'école à pied. I go to school on foot. Here you can see à accompanied by l, because école starts with a vowel. Let's try one more. Je vais au travail en métro. I go to work by metro. Je vais au travail en métro. I go to work by metro. Here you can see the contraction au, which comes from à plus le. This happens because travail is a masculine singular noun that starts with a consonant. In French, A contracts with L to form O. Another one. Je vais au supermarché en voiture. I go to the supermarket by car. Je vais au supermarché en voiture. I go to the supermarket by car. Here, supermarché is a masculine singular noun that starts with a consonant, so we use O. One last example. Je vais au magasin en taxi. I go to the shops by taxi. Je vais au magasin en taxi. I go to the shops by taxi. Here you can see A, accompanied by les, which becomes O, because magasin is a plural noun. In French, when A is followed by a plural noun, it contracts with les, the plural form of de, to form O. This contraction is required and makes the sentence sound natural. Now you know how to talk about transportation in French. And you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to make an invitation in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to make an invitation in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Waouh, quelle jolie pièce! C'est très spacieux et la vue est magnifique. Allons à la plage tout de suite. Veux-tu te reposer d'abord? Non, pas vraiment. Allons d'abord à la plage. Let's see it with the English translation. Waouh, quelle jolie pièce! C'est très spacieux et la vue est magnifique. Wow, what a pretty room! It's very spacious. And the view is magnificent. Allons à la plage tout de suite. Let's go to the beach right away. We focus on the next sentence. Let's examine it more closely and break it down into its components. Veux-tu te reposer d'abord? Do you want to rest first? This starts with the verb veut, meaning want. Veut, veut. Next is the subject pronoun tu, meaning you. Tu, tu. Next is the reflexive verb phrase te reposer, meaning to rest. Te reposer, te reposer. Next is the adverb d'abord, meaning first. D'abord, d'abord. All together, it's veux-tu te reposer d'abord? Do you want to rest first? Veux-tu te reposer d'abord? Non, pas vraiment. Allons d'abord à la plage. Not really. Let's go to the beach first. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Veux-tu plus infinitive verb. Do you want plus infinitive verb. Let's look at veux-tu first. Veux is a form of the verb vouloir, which means to want. It is conjugated here for tu, the informal singular you. When you invert the verb and subject like this, veux-tu, you are asking a yes or no question. Do you want? After that is the infinitive verb, a verb that is not conjugated. In French, infinitives always end in et, ir or re. In this sentence pattern, the infinitive verb comes after veux-tu and shows what the person wants to do. So this sentence structure, veux-tu plus infinitive verb, means do you want to do something. Veux-tu is typically used in more formal situations or when you want to sound especially polite or traditional, such as in literature, official speeches, or when speaking to someone you don't know well. In everyday conversation, French speakers usually say tu veux, relying on rising intonation to show it's a question, just like in English, where you want to go becomes a question through tone alone. For example, if you want to say, do you want to go? The formal or old-fashioned version would be veux-tu venir? While the more natural, casual version would be tu veux venir? Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Veux-tu te reposer d'abord? Do you want to rest first? In this sentence, veux-tu is the inverted question form, meaning do you want. It includes veux from vouloir and tu, the informal you. Te reposer is a reflexive infinitive verb, meaning to rest. Te is the reflexive pronoun that matches tu. And reposer is the base form of the verb. D'abord is an adverb meaning first. So, veux-tu te reposer d'abord follows the pattern veux-tu plus infinitive verb, and it means do you want to rest first. Now you can use this structure to suggest activities to do with others in French. In French, there is another way to ask someone if they want to do something. Ça te dit de? This means do you feel like, and is a bit softer and more casual. After ça te dit de, we use an infinitive verb. A verb that ends in et, ir or re, and is not conjugated. Ça te dit de plus infinitive verb. In this pattern, te means to you, and dit comes from the verb dire, meaning to say. Literally, it means, does that say something to you? But in real conversation, it's just a friendly way to ask if something sounds good or if someone's interested. For example, ça te dit de sortir? Do you feel like going out? So, to sum up, veux-tu is formal, old-fashioned, and very polite. Tu veux is for close friends and more direct. Ça te dit de works in both casual and polite situations. Now, let's look at some speaking examples. Veux-tu prendre le petit déjeuner? Do you want to have breakfast? Can you see how the patterns applies here? Let's break it down. Here, veux-tu is the question form of do you want. Veux is the verb from vouloir, meaning to want, and tu is the informal subject pronoun you. The verb and subject are inverted to make a question. Next is prendre. The infinitive verb meaning to have or to take. This is the action the speaker is asking about, so it fits the second part of the pattern. Then comes le petit déjeuner, meaning breakfast. It is the object of the verb prendre. So, veux-tu prendre le petit déjeuner? Fits the sentence pattern veux-tu plus infinitive verb, and it means do you want to have breakfast? Here's another example. Ça te dit de regarder un film? Do you feel like watching a movie? Ça te dit de regarder un film? Do you feel like watching a movie? This sentence fits the pattern ça te dit de plus infinitive. This is a friendly and common way to suggest doing something together in French. Let's try one more. Veux-tu aller au restaurant? Do you want to go to the restaurant? Veux-tu aller au restaurant? Do you want to go to the restaurant? Another one. Veux-tu organiser une fête? Do you want to organize a party? Veux-tu organiser une fête? Do you want to organize a party? One last example. Ça te dit de venir dîner chez moi? Do you feel like coming to dinner at my place? Ça te dit de venir dîner chez moi? Do you feel like coming to dinner at my place? Now you know how to make an invitation in French, and you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to talk about health problems in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to talk about health problems in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topics and how the other person responds. Corentin, tu n'as pas l'air d'aller bien. Qu'est-ce qui ne va pas? J'ai mal à la tête. J'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. Tu es malade? Je ne sais pas. Tu veux rentrer chez toi? Oui, je vais rentrer. Let's break it down. Corentin, tu n'as pas l'air d'aller bien. Qu'est-ce qui ne va pas? Corentin, you don't look well. What's wrong? After that is the focus statement. J'ai mal à la tête. J'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. I have a headache. I also have a stomachache. First is the sentence J'ai mal à la tête. Or, I have a headache. J'ai mal à la tête. This starts with the subject and verb j'ai, meaning I have. J'ai. J'ai. Next is the word mal, meaning pain or ache. Mal. Mal. After this is the phrase à la tête, meaning in the head or in the head area. À la tête. À la tête. Together it's j'ai mal à la tête. I have a headache. J'ai mal à la tête. Next is the sentence j'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. Or I also have a stomachache. J'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. This starts again with the subject and verb j'ai, meaning I have. J'ai. J'ai. Next is the adverb aussi, meaning also. Aussi. Aussi. Next is mal, meaning pain. Mal. Mal. After this is à l'estomac, meaning in the stomach. À l'estomac. À l'estomac. Together is j'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. I also have a stomachache. J'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. Tu es malade? Are you sick? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Tu veux rentrer chez toi? Do you want to go home? Oui, je vais rentrer. Yes, I'm going to go home. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Subject plus avoir mal à plus definite article plus body part. Subject plus to have pain in plus definite article plus body part. Let's look at the beginning of the pattern first. We start with the subject, which tells us who is experiencing the pain. Then we use the verb avoir, meaning to have, which is conjugated to match the subject. Mal, follow, which refers to pain or discomfort. Next is the preposition à, which links the pain to a specific body part. This is followed by a definite article, le, la, l'apostrophe, or les, depending on the gender and number of the body part. Finally, we add the body part itself. So, the full structure, subject plus avoir mal à plus definite article plus body parts, is used to say someone has pain in a particular area of the body. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. J'ai mal à la tête. J'ai aussi mal à l'estomac. I have a headache. I also have a stomachache. In the first sentence, j'ai is a contraction of je ai, meaning I have. Je is the subject, meaning I. Ai is the form of the verb avoir, to have, conjugated for je, meaning I have. Mal indicates pain, ache, or discomfort. À la is the preposition à, to, or, at, or in, combined with la, the feminine singular definite article. Tête means head, and it is a feminine singular noun. Together, this follows the full pattern and means I have a headache. In the second sentence, J' is again the subject, and est is still the verb from avoir. Aussi is an adverb meaning also. This isn't part of the main sentence pattern. Mal indicates pain. Next, we say à l'estomac. Because estomac begins with a vowel. In French, a combines with le or la as needed. Before a vowel, it becomes a L'. Estomac means stomach. So the second sentence means I also have a stomachache. It follows the same pattern as the first. With this pattern, subject plus avoir mal à plus definite article plus body part, you can describe feeling pain anywhere on your body. Now let's look at some speaking examples. J'ai mal au genou. My knees hurt. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, J' is the subject, short for je, meaning I. Et is the verb from avoir, meaning have. Altogether, j'ai means I have. Mal indicates pain or discomfort. O is a contraction of a plus les. It's used because genou is a plural noun. This matches the pattern's a plus definite article section. Genou is the noun for knees. So, j'ai mal au genou fits the pattern subject plus avoir mal à plus definite article plus body part. And it means my knees hurt. Here's another example. Pierre a mal à la jambe. Pierre has a sore leg. Pierre a mal à la jambe. Pierre has a sore leg. Let's try one more. J'ai mal à l'oreille. J'ai aussi mal aux dents. I have an earache. I also have a toothache. J'ai mal aux oreilles. J'ai aussi mal aux dents. I have an earache. I also have a toothache. Another one. Sophie a mal aux yeux. Sophie has sore eyes. Sophie a mal aux yeux. Sophie has sore eyes. One last example. J'ai mal au dos. I have back pain. Here, O is a contraction of A plus le. It's used because dos is a masculine singular noun. J'ai mal au dos. I have back pain. Now you know how to talk about health problems in French. And you can move on to the practice. Au revoir.
Trying to learn French but still can't speak? That's because you're missing one of 3 crucial steps. These are 3 steps to mastering and speaking French with confidence. And that's how you learn at FrenchPod 101. You learn with quick conversation lessons by real teachers. You get to practice what you've learned, and you get tested for total mastery. So sign up for your free lifetime account at FrenchPod 101. Click the link in the description.
Do you know how to ask someone to do something in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny, and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to ask someone to do something through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Mamie, apprends-moi comment cuisiner. D'accord, préparons une tartiflette. D'abord, mets de l'eau dans le faitout. C'est fait. Lave ces pommes de terre. Ne les mets pas dans le faitout. D'accord. Attends une minute. Ce ne sont pas des pommes de terre, ça. Let's hear it with the English translation. Mamie, apprends-moi comment cuisiner. Grandma, teach me how to cook. D'accord, préparons une tartiflette. D'abord, mets de l'eau dans le faitout. Ok, let's make a tartiflette. First, put some water in the stew pot. C'est fait. Done. The next sentence is the one we focus on. Let's take a closer look and break it down into its parts. Lave ces pommes de terre. Ne les mets pas dans le faitout. Wash these potatoes. Don't put them in the pot. First is the verb lave, the imperative form of laver, meaning to wash. Lave, lave. Next is a demonstrative adjective, c'est, meaning des. C'est, c'est. After this is the noun phrase pomme de terre, which means potatoes. Literally, it translates as apple of the earth. Pomme de terre. Pomme de terre. Altogether, it's lave ces pommes de terre. This means wash these potatoes. Lave ces pommes de terre. The next sentence begins with the negative marker ne, which starts a negative command. Ne, ne. Next is the object pronoun les, which replaces a plural noun. In this case, les pommes de terre, the potatoes. It means them. Les, les. After this is the verb met, the imperative form of mettre, meaning to put. Met, met. Next is the second part of the negation, pas, which comes after the verb pas, pas. Last is the phrase dans le faitout, meaning in the pot. Dans le faitout. Dans le faitout. Faitout literally means do everything. Altogether, it's ne les mets pas dans le faitout. This means don't put them in the pot. Ne les mets pas dans le faitout. D'accord. Ok. Attends une minute. Ce ne sont pas des pommes de terre, ça. Wait a minute. Those aren't potatoes. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Ne plus pronoun plus imperative verb plus pas. Don't plus do something to someone or something. In this pattern, we're giving a negative command, telling someone not to do something. We begin with ne, which starts the negation. Then we add a pronoun, often to replace a noun already mentioned. In negative commands, object pronoun come before the verb. This is in contrast to positive commands, where object pronoun follow the verb with a hyphen. For example, lave-les, wash them. These are the key rules. After that comes the verb in its command form, known as the imperative. This is the form we use to tell someone what to do. And we finish the negative structure with pas, which completes the negation. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Ne les mets pas dans le faitout. Don't put them in the pot. In this sentence, ne starts the negative command. Les is a pronoun that replaces les pommes de terre, meaning them. Mais is the imperative form of mettre, meaning put. Pas finishes the negation. So, ne les mets pas means don't put them. Dans le faitout means in the pot. This tells us where the action should not happen. So, altogether, ne les mets pas dans le faitout means don't put them in the pot. Now, you can use this structure anytime you want to clearly tell someone not to do something in French. The sentence d'abord mets de l'eau dans le faitout is a positive imperative used to give a direct instruction. First, put some water in the stew pot. It uses the imperative form of the verb mettre, met, without any negation. In positive commands like this, the object, here, de l'eau, usually comes after the verb. In contrast, a negative command follows a specific structure. Ne plus pronoun plus imperative verb plus pas, which is used to tell someone not to do something. For example, ne les mets pas dans le faitout means don't put them in the pot. In this case, the object pronoun les comes before the verb met, enclosed by ne pas. Both sentences use the imperative mood, but the presence of ne pas in the second sentence turns it into a negative command. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Ne le mets pas dans le sac. Don't put it in the bag. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, ne begins the negation. It's the first part of the negative structure. Le is the object pronoun, replacing a masculine singular noun, it. Mais is the imperative form of the verb mettre, to put. Pas completes the negation. So, ne le mets pas fits the pattern ne plus pronoun plus imperative verb plus pas. And it means don't put it. Dans le sac means in the bag. It tells us where the action should not happen. Altogether, ne le mets pas dans le sac means don't put it in the bag. Here's another examples. Ne l'écris pas dans le livre. Don't write it in the book. Ne l'écris pas dans le livre. Don't write it in the book. Let's try one more. Ne la lis pas maintenant. Don't read it now. Ne la lis pas maintenant. Don't read it now. Another one. Ne les mets pas sur la table. Don't put them on the table. Ne les mets pas sur la table. Don't put them on the table. One last example. Ne l'efface pas du tableau. Don't erase it from the board. Ne l'efface pas du tableau. Don't erase it from the board. Now you know how to ask someone to do something in French, and you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Trying to learn French but still can't speak? That's because you're missing one of 3 crucial steps. These are 3 steps to mastering and speaking French with confidence. And that's how you learn at FrenchPod 101. You learn with quick conversation lessons by real teachers. You get to practice what you've learned, and you get tested for total mastery. So sign up for your free lifetime account at FrenchPod 101. Click the link in the description.
Do you know how to talk about future actions in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny, and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to talk about future actions in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Merci pour le repas, c'est délicieux. De rien, Coralie, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire cet été? Je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis. Oh, tu iras à la plage. Tu ne vas pas chercher du travail? Non, je prendrai quelques cours d'été là-bas. N'oublie pas ton maillot de bain. Je crois que l'été sera chaud. Let's hear it with the English translation. Merci pour le repas, c'est délicieux. Thank you for the meal, it's delicious. De rien, Coralie, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire cet été? You're welcome, Coralie. What are you going to do this summer? After that is the focus statement. Let's take a look at its elements. Je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis. I will visit Nice with some friends. First is the subject je, meaning I, je. Je. Next is the verb visiterai, meaning will visit. Visiterai. Visiterai. Notice that the question qu'est-ce que tu vas faire uses the future proche. the near future tense, which is made with the verb aller plus infinitive. But Coralie replies using the future simple. A different future tense we'll focus on in this lesson. After this is Nice, a proper noun and the name of a city in France. Nice, Nice. Next is the phrase avec quelques amis, meaning with some friends. Avec means with, avec, avec. Quelques means some, quelques, quelques. Amis means friends, amis, amis. All together, it's je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis. This means I will visit Nice with some friends. Je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis. Oh, tu iras à la plage. Tu ne vas pas chercher du travail. Oh, you're going to the beach. Aren't you going to look for a job? Non. Je prendrai quelques cours d'été là-bas. No, I'll take some summer classes there. N'oublie pas ton maillot de bain. Je crois que l'été sera chaud. Don't forget your swimsuit. I think the summer will be hot. Let's look at the sentence patterns. But first, let's get familiar with future simple conjugations. In French, this is how you form the future simple or simple future tense. The future tense endings are est, a, on, et on. These endings are added directly to the infinitive form of the verb for regular et and ir verb. For re verb, you first drop the final e, then add the ending. These patterns are the structure that our examples will follow. Let's see a line from the dialogue follows pattern A. Pattern A. For et and ir verbs, the pattern is infinitive verb plus future tense ending. Je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis. I will visit Nice with some friends. In this sentence, visiterai is the future form of the verb visiter, meaning to visit. Visiter is a regular et verb, so we follow pattern A. We keep the full infinitive visiter and then we add the ending est, which is the first person singular je, ending in the future simple. Je, visiter plus est, je visiterai. This means I will visit. The rest of the sentence is Nice, the name of a city in France, the destination, avec quelques amis, meaning with some friends. So, je visiterai Nice avec quelques amis fits the pattern infinitive verb et or ir, future tense ending, and translate as I will visit Nice with some friends. Now let's see how a line from the dialogue follows pattern B. Pattern B. For re verbs, the pattern is infinitive verb without final e plus future tense ending. Non, je prendrai quelques cours d'été là-bas. No, I'll take some summer classes there. In this sentence, prendrai is the future form of the verb prendre, meaning to take. Prendre is an irregular verb, so we follow pattern B. We start with the infinitive verb prendre and drop the final E. Then we add the future tense ending est, which is the first person singular je ending in the future simple. Je plus prendre plus est. Je prendrai. This means I will take. The rest of the sentence is quelques cours d'été, meaning some summer classes. Là-bas, meaning over there or there. So, je prendrai quelques cours d'été là-bas. Follows the pattern infinitive verb without the final E plus future tense ending. And translate as I will take some summer classes there. Now you can use these structures to talk about things you will do in the future in French. In French, irregular verbs are those that do not follow the regular conjugation patterns used for et, ir, or re verbs in the future tense, while regular verbs simply add future tense ending to the infinitive pattern A or to the infinitive without the final E pattern B. Irregular verbs use completely different stems. For example, instead of keeping the full infinitive form of avoir or être, these verbs use special stems in the future tense, like or for avoir and ser for être. Then we simply add the regular future ending to those stems. These new stems often don't resemble the infinitive at all, which is what makes them irregular, because they're so common, like aller, faire, or vouloir. Learners encounter them early, and memorizing their stems is essential for speaking and understanding everyday French. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Je parlerai à ma grand-mère. I will talk to my grandmother. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, je is the subject pronoun, meaning I. Next is parlerai, which comes from the infinitive verb parler, meaning to talk. Parler is a regular et verb, so we follow the pattern for et verbs in the future simple. Infinitive verb plus future ending. The infinitive is parler, and the future tense ending for je is est. So, parler plus est, parlerai. This gives us je parlerai, meaning I will talk. Then we have à ma grand-mère, meaning to my grandmother. So, the sentence je parlerai à ma grand-mère follows the future simple pattern and translate as I will talk to my grandmother. Here's another example that follows pattern A. Je n'utiliserai pas mon ordinateur. I will not use my computer. Je n'utiliserai pas mon ordinateur. I will not use my computer. Let's try on more with pattern B. J'apprendrai le japonais. I will learn Japanese. J'apprendrai le japonais. I will learn Japanese. Another one using pattern A. Je ne visiterai pas Paris cette année, mais je visiterai la France l'année prochaine. I will not visit Paris this year, but I will visit France next year. Je ne visiterai pas Paris cette année, mais je visiterai la France l'année prochaine. I will not visit Paris this year, but I will visit France next year. One last example, using an irregular verb, auront, which is the future tense form of the verb avoir, to have. Nous aurons du beau temps. We will have nice weather. Nous aurons du beau temps. We will have nice weather. Now you know how to talk about future actions in French, and you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.